go to sleep. Hey guys! Okay, so I know it's been going on a year since I've done my last YouTube. I had every intention of updating updating a video on how my place is going, and yes, it is completed, but it's hard for me to show you because that would require me having somebody unplug my computer and then lug it all around and then make a video and then plug it back in to get back to the internet. So it looks like it's gonna be a little longer to give you a virtual tour. Maybe I can substitute by posting pictures on my Instagram about what my apartment looks like. I doubt it'll do it justice because I got virtually everything except the elevator. The elevator is not finished. But that's a whole nother story with the pandemic and everything going on. In case you guys haven't noticed, there's a new view of my camera. That's because I got a new bigger screen for my laptop, and the new bigger screen wouldn't accept the old video camera, so I had to get a new one for Christmas. Well, actually that was after I got a bigger screen for Christmas from my brother. In the meantime, I've been reading, attending virtual conferences, and trying to keep busy, although it's very lonely. I mean, it's hard for me to get around as it is, and then when they limit your like getting when they limit your access to restaurants because of the pandemic, that's a whole nother issue. Let's see. The other thing I just noticed in creating a YouTube, which I really don't like, is that with Windows, with the Windows 10, with this camera maker, it doesn't allow you to write notes and record it and have your notes up so you remember what you wanted to talk about. So you have to have the video camera up and recording as you're recording video camera, so you have to remember everything you want to talk about. But unfortunately, I'm not able to do that, so I'm gonna have to do this in parts. This is part number 1. Wake up. Number 6. Press spacebar. Go to sleep. But to be honest, in terms of the pandemic, we've been pretty lucky. All of us has stayed pretty healthy. Recently I was invited to be a guest speaker at my niece's Christian school. They read a book called Out of My Mind, which was supposed to be a realistic autobiography, well, biography told by the view of a person with CP. Ironically, it was not written by a person with CP, but it was written by a psychologist, Sharon M. Draper. Actually, it was a pretty good book, but my day with them was just to tell them and give them a more realistic view of what actually having CP is like, and showing them that it's not as easy as realistic as the book was. They kinda glossed over some stuff like the social aspects of Rose and Melody and how their friendship went, because when I was in middle school, it wasn't that easy for me, and most people wanted to stay away from me because they didn't want to catch what I had. But yeah, that was another realistic, showing them the realistics of having CP and having to depend on people to help you with your daily needs, like physically as well as getting dressed and stuff. So that was interesting, and it gave me another speaking engagement to add to my list. So for staying close to home and making sure I don't get the virus, I've always also stayed pretty active in the fact that I remain vigilant about my health. I'm looking forward to getting the the shot, so I don't have to worry about, if I go out, will I get the virus. I'm looking forward to when it comes to where I live and it's accessible to people with disability, and I'm looking for my opportunity to get it so I can be out and be part of the world again. But in the meantime, as I said before, I'm taking steps to maintain my health. My mom and I and my dad are concerned about my ability to drive, and as you see, my head is leaning to the left, although in the camera it's leaning to the right, which is the opposite of where my head is leaning, because I can't keep my head straight, so lately it's become harder and harder to keep my head straight other than when I'm driving. So we're looking forward to getting my wheelchair reevaluated and to see if they can put a little buffer on the left side so I don't lean as far as I am leaning, but I'm pretty healthy otherwise, and I'm just using this time to become closer to God and remember God's faithfulness in the midst of what I'm struggling with. Like, recently I found out that one of my personal assistants is gonna have to decrease some of her hours, so unfortunately we'll be looking for new aides in the future, but hopefully she and I can still remain close, and she's still gonna be working 2 days a week, although I don't know how the other aides are gonna feel about like taking less hours because she's taking 1 day a week. So that's another thing we gotta face as it gets closer to April, which is when she's gonna be decreasing her hours. In the meantime, we hired a new night aide, and my mom is training her, so that's interesting. Well, lately I've been reading Beth Moore Chasing Vines as part of Facebook's Book of the Month Club, and it's amazing to me how God chooses us even before the time of the beginning of the earth. He chose us even before we were formed. He chose us to be part of his family, and like it's go to sleep. It's not. I wanted to read an exact quote, but I don't have it right here, so I'll have to get the quote and then somehow read it in the next video. I'll find it and I will post it. Actually, I'll post it underneath in the comments and see what you feel about the quote that I post. It's basically just reiterates God. If you're Christian, God chose you before the beginning of time. So never doubt that. You're exactly in the place you are because you need to be where you are at the moment in time you are. You matter. So that's just something I'm learning to rely on and remember God's faithfulness in the midst of this pandemic. For right now, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully it won't take me a year to do the next video. God loves you, and I love you too. Bye. Wake up. Mouse click. Wake up. Mouse click.